everyone. Today I would like to make a comment or a brief explanation of the topic or video about social deviance posted by Rachel Chaiken 7 years ago, who has a 7.7 thousand subscribers today. Unfortunately, I can't download her video, so I take the screenshots only. So, okay, let's start. What is the first thing that comes to your mind when you hear deviance or deviant? How would you define deviant behavior? Well, its definition, it says violating expected rules and norms, a behavior that departs significantly from social expectations. So, deviance is much more than a personal characteristics and can be viewed as a form of social conflict. It is a behavior, trait, beliefs, or other characteristics that violates a norm and causes a negative reaction, especially to the society, whether it is acceptable or not. Example is a child using cigarette. In other country, I don't know if they accepted that or it is prohibited by law because he is only a minor. Same as the second picture, other countries forbids tattoos and some are accepted it because it is part of the culture. Formal and informal deviance. Yes, I agree with this formal deviance because when someone committed a crime, he or she must pay his or her consequences by being in prison. In informal deviance, this is seen many times everywhere and anywhere. But even though it didn't break the law, but the fact that it violates norms and causes negative reactions, it is considered deviance. Durkheim's theory of deviance. He argued that society punishes social deviance because it disrupts the social order. However, deviance can also produce social solidarity. So, social deviance, not just violating rules and norms, but also it can form a group or make individual to become closer with one another. Example is the group or member of LGBT community discriminated by those people who don't accepted him, but the group of LGBT fight for their rights against discrimination. Social movements and deviance. Social movements is a group of people or organization that want to achieve a particular goals. On the other words, they want to achieve social change. As what you see in the example, smoking was the norm. You can smoke anywhere, but when it was revealed that smoking not only causes cancer, but the tobacco companies covered it up, it created a social movement, and smoking has been relegated to deviant behavior. The mere fact that it is bad for you is not enough to create deviance. The fact it was covered up and the public was lived to created the social response. Subculture deviance. This kind of deviance is very common. We can see this not just our country, but also to the other country. They form groups like fraternities or gangs. And if you performed and survived the hazing, you are now part of their brotherhood.
Sociological theories of deviance. First, functionalist theories. Deviance creates social cohesion. Deviation is necessary to define what social norms are. As a deviant, it ensures that society knows what norms are and what's normal and abnormal for society.
Structural strain theory. Deviance results from inconsistent structures in society. The deviance occurs when a person has no privilege and on what others have, he will make a way to have it by creating crimes. Deviance occurs when a person's attachment to social bonds is weakened. Most of us will conform to a group's social norms, but when someone is made to feel inadequate or isolated, deviance occurs. Yes, it possibly occurs. For example, if someone gets fired to his job and could not take it or accepted it, he might have committed crimes or deviance by hurting someone physically because of what happened to him. Conflict theories. Deviance results from social inequality in society. Least powerful groups in society, the poor to be exact, are labeled as the most deviant and committed hard punishments, while elite deviance, wrongdoing by the wealthy group of people, will largely unrecognized and unpunished. And that's very unfair. I hope punishment will serve equally to the society. Symbolic interaction theories. Differential association theory. Deviance is a learned behavior that is reinforced through group membership. Yes, it is. If you are in a group of criminals, there's a tendency that you will inherit and or become one of them. Labeling theory. Deviance results from the process of social labeling, regardless of the actual commissions of deviance. Once a criminal was labeled a criminal, after he gets out from a jail, he will called as ex-con or ex-convict. And even though he gets out, the society sees him that he is still a criminal and he lived to his label. Deviant communities. Same as subculture deviant, it is a group like gangs and fraternities, and or created a community that deviance is the norm. Stigmas. Same as labeling theory, it resulted to a person's being labeled as deviant. Common forms of deviance. In mental illness, deviance is based to person's psychological problems. What they act or do that is deviant is based on their mentality. Another form of deviance is drug and alcohol abuse. In this form, deviance occurs when a person is engaged to drugs and alcohol. Because when a person engaged to it and abused it, it changes his behavior that makes him abnormal and unacceptable. And another forms of deviance is crime. Criminal behavior is a response to social conditions rather than personalities or inherent tendencies. Yes, I agree with this, because crimes or deviant like this can actually get in accordance to the society and how a person behave and what is his condition to the society. Crime statistics. These refer to systematic quantitative results about crime. In other words, it is the total number of crimes recorded and the cost by committing it. Sometimes our justice system is not equally served the society. I must say that lower level in society is much more punishment than the higher level. White-collar crime involves less violence than street crimes and is therefore viewed in a less deviant way because white-collar crime treated lightly than the street crimes. Race and crime. I really hated this kind of situations that only the black people or black Americans are much more likely to be arrested and treated criminals than whites and Asians. They treated them so badly. Otherwise, they also more likely to be the victim of crimes, but that's not the reason for them to be hated. There are lots of factors why are they doing such crimes, like being poor, unemployed, and living in the single-parent households. Racial profiling. I also hate this, labeling or seeing a person as criminal because of his race, the way he looked and moved. This is not good. We can't judge people easily based on their looks, actions, behaviors, and especially race.
Minorities tend to have
Race and crime continued. Racial, class stratification, and biases are always present in the society, and it is not equally fair for the people living in the society.
the cost of prison. Well, yes, all crimes have cost.
Lastly, rape and deviance. Rape is the most underrated crimes. It is unlawful sexual activity and usually intercourse carried out forcibly or under threat of injury against the will, usually of a female. I hope that this case will lessen and much better no crimes like this will committed. Let's keep women safe and always remember that there's a consequences in every crimes committed. Real men don't